Another question I wanted to ask you is, do you think there has to be one set definition of what it means to be a man, or do you think it's a broad spectrum of things and everybody can kind of have their own thoughts and twists on it?
Yeah. I mean, I do think it's up to each man to make that definition for himself. I think there's going to be a lot of overlap, right? I think there's that kind of broad protect, provide, preside is a great umbrella to fall under. And then what does that mean to you, right? Protect, is that, what does that mean? Does that mean, that you have you practice jujitsu, you go to the range? What does it look like for you? So I think there's some, I hate to say generalities, but some overall arching themes to what it means to be good at being a man. And then each man needs to define what that looks like for himself. And that's part of that autonomy and sovereignty, is defining what it means to be a man and then living that life. That's why our visions aren't all going to be the same. It's why we all create our own vision for our lives. It's not like a cookie cutter vision for what it means to be a man or becoming the man you were meant to be, because God's got a purpose for all of us, and it's going to be different for each of us. So it's going to look a little different.
Yeah, I think, like we say in the Marine Corps, we kind of give the left and right lateral limits, right? Where, for example, your example is protect, provide, preside. Now you have the
Right.
left and laterals, but it's on you to get on your individual target.
Right. I like that.
How do you think, right? Let's say somebody out there has somebody in their life that they want to help out. How do you think you go about helping them start their journey of becoming a better man?
Yeah. Meet them where they're at. I think that's important, right? I think all too often we don't have the, I used to say the word empathy for guys who are really struggling, because we think they should. Why are they doing that? Well, you got to meet them where they're at. So, if and we're all at different points of the journey. We see this in the Iron Council. Some guys come in and they're doing pretty good in life, right? But they want to be doing pretty great. Some guys come in and they're rock bottom, right? They're rock bottom. So you got to meet them where they're at and start small. And again, it goes back to creating those small wins, right? Small wins create big victories. So, if a guy is at rock bottom, struggling with addiction, you know, you got to meet him there. You can't expect him to all of a sudden be top of the food chain, right? He's got to start somewhere, and it might be as simple as, stopping that addiction, identifying that what's the one thing you can do, that's going to move the needle closer. That's why we pick a daily tactic, and we don't have multiple tactics in every quadrant, because when you don't focus, you're all over the place. When you can focus on one thing for 90 days, that's where you're going to start creating habits and making changes in your life. But I think that the biggest thing is, if there's somebody in your life that you want to help, is meet them where they're at and start there.
To elaborate on that, and I think I'm gonna kind of give the typical answer before I ask the question, right? I think when people are asked this question or they express that they do this, the answer is always, "Well, just stop doing that." But what words do you have to the guys who are at rock bottom and they see the guys who are doing well and they're successful and they get discouraged by it?
Well, one, if I'm doing it, you can do it, and then I say I'm general, but if somebody else is doing it, you can do it, right? You might not be there yet, but if I've done it, if any other man has done it, then you can do it. It's possible. And then, I think the thing is, guys get discouraged because they're like, well, I don't know where to start. Well, there's the reason that you give, and then there's the real reason. So helping a man find the real reason, what he's using that addiction to self-medicate, and we'll just keep using the addiction kind of theme, but what's the root cause of that? Is there some kind of fear of failure, whatever the case may be? But I think understanding that if someone else is doing it, then you can do it too.